Several children gathered at a corner of the classroom like a swarm of bees excited over a drop of honey. It was some minutes before the first lesson period of the day. Mark entered the classroom but could not help notice the frenzy of excited classmates chuckling, peeping, and muttering frantically. It was obvious Tony and Eve had acquired something new again. It must be something expensive or awe-inspiring to draw such attention from his classmates, Mark thought. Hurt by his previous conversation with the duo, he wasn't ready for another injury to his ego, so he quietly walked to his seat and settled in for the day. During the break, Tony walked up to Mark in a cheerful manner. "What's up, Mark? How are you doing?" "Fine," Mark answered uninterestedly, looking everywhere but Tony's direction. Tony got the intel. He knew something was not right, something he had probably done. "Mark, what's the matter? You didn't even come to check out my latest baby this morning," Tony queried. "I didn't know you were married, let alone having a baby," Mark replied. His disinterested look had now graduated into a stern and prying look. "Come on, bro, don't act like you don't know what I mean." "I don't know, bro. What do you mean?" This time, Mark was looking straight at Tony's face, with his arms crossed over his chest. It was now evident to Tony that his friend was offended by something he had done. "Mark, are you fine?" Tony asked, with an inquisitive look, stepping closer to his friend's side. Mark sighed and said, "Tony, I am fine. Just a little thing I'm dealing with." "Okay, if you say so. I acquired an Android phone yesterday. Won't you like to see it?" Mark turned his head abruptly facing Tony. He gave a piercing look, narrowing his eyelids. Tony knew the question Mark's gesture was asking without any explanation. He let out a guffaw for a while, glancing intermittently at Mark's querying face. Mark was reminded of his grudge against his friends. He was still recovering from their secrecy about their source of income, and here he is, hearing about a new acquisition without his knowledge of its source. "See, you will not understand. However, I downloaded some football games already. You can play them on our way home." "I don't think I'm interested in any game, Tony. You're acting very cold to me. Did I do any wrong to you? Why not tell me instead of behaving like a sissy?" This time, Mark turned his complete torso, arms still folded across his chest, as he looked straight into the eyes of Tony. "Tony, where are you and Eve getting these gadgets and money from?" "Oh, that. Is that why you've been behaving like a low-budget Kyle Hart from Nickelodeon's Henry Danger?" "That's not the answer." "Okay, that's fine. On our way home, Ife would do a better explanation, since he is the one who introduced me to it." "Oh, I see. I'll be waiting." The bell rang, and the boys walked back to their classroom block, undeterred by the fact that they didn't enjoy the break period. They started off with another topic of discussion, albeit in a friendlier demeanor. The day ran like a chicken running after grains, and in a twinkle of an eye, it was already the end of school day at Farron College. Early year students trotted jubilantly out of the school's premises, while older students were calmer in their movements. Mark looked around the class after packing his bag. His eyes searched frantically for either Tony or Eve, but he could not find any of them. Discouraged that he had been fooled by Tony, who told him that he will get his answer after school that day, he decided to leave for home. As he walked out of the school gate, he raised his head to find two boys standing beside each other as though they were expectant of his arrival. There was no emotion visible on their faces. By their stance, they seemed a little bit concerned than anything else. "Oh, good afternoon," Mark greeted, looking from one face to the other. "Good afternoon, Mark," Tony said with a little bit of unease. Then he began. "Mark, you are our friend. That is why we are doing this. We don't want to regret what we are about to do. If you know that you will not be able to keep your mouth shut about what you're going to find out, please turn and find your way home now." Mark became apprehensive at the warning. He knew he would not tell anyone about whatever he is about to discover, but he was worried why he had to be warned so sternly. However, he wouldn't allow his worry stop him from the satisfaction his curiosity so craves. "I don't have a basket for a mouth. I'm not going to mention anything to anyone. Trust me, guys," Mark assured the duo. Eve, who had been quiet, broke his silence. All right then, let's go. There was an unusual silence as the boys took a different route through pathways and a number of turns. Mark kept turning and glancing every landmark his eyes came across. He felt spooked at intervals, but he wouldn't let the boys notice that he was afraid else he would confirm their claims that he was feeble-minded. Ife, who was ahead of the procession, stopped at a distance. Tony and Mark followed. "We are here," Ife exclaimed. "What?" Mark asked frantically. Across the road was a group of older, rough-looking youth enjoying themselves in front of a bar. Some were smoking cigarettes in the open. Some men held bottles of alcoholic beverages in their hands, while a host of others were having conversations with ladies who looked half naked. Mark ran a quick glance at the people across the road, hoping to find a single person who looked responsible, but all his eyes could find were people wearing torn jeans, dirty dreadlocks on their head, and unruly mannerisms. "And this is where we earn the money and the devices. Tomorrow we shall show you how it's done. That is if you are willing," Eve said calmly as he turned back and once again led the procession of 3 secondary school boys away. The veil has been lifted. Mark finally knows the truth behind the sudden wealth and the flashy gadgets. But the truth has a price. Is he in too deep to walk away, or is this the moment he turns back? The choice is made in the next chapter.